You might be wondering, what is a birth chart reading? And why does it matter to you? Why should it matter for your kids? And that's this kind of stuff I want to just start touching on in this video here to give you a real general overview of what this is and even what you can expect from a birth chart reading. I use evolutionary astrology as taught by Jeffrey Wolf Green. So that's a Western astrology form, not Vedic, not Mayan. See, there are different forms of astrology that we can even be discussing about here. And it's basically a snapshot in time at the moment of your birth. Now, I'm sure you notice that when you look outside at night, the stars are always moving, the moon is always moving around, and so are the planets. And at the time of your birth, there is a very specific placement of those planets and the angles that they make, the different zodiac signs that they're in. And what this does is provides this like a roadmap for who your soul is, for the evolutionary intent of your soul, past lives that you might have come in with, and where you want to go, like going forward. Again, it's evolution. Where does your soul want to go next in this life? What direction are you heading in? So birth chart readings are really beautiful because they're almost like when you look at a trail, a trailhead map, and there's a sign that says you are here. That's what a birth chart reading is. You are here at this moment of your birth. What direction are you going in? Your next question, you might be wondering, why do I care about a birth chart reading? What does it matter for me? I have found that when you have a really good birth chart reading, it feels like your life, your experiences, your soul is being reflected back to you. Your emotions, how you show up in this world, like those real deep desires that you might not have even allowed yourself to come forward and to be spoken. I find these readings can be a wonderful direction of where you might want to be exploring, where you may want to be going with who you are, your business, parenting. I actually feel that if that was having a birth chart reading done was sort of our standard practice, certainly here for the United States, I feel like we would be in a much different place. Our society would be much different. And there's something really special when you actually feel seen by someone. And that is something that a really good birth chart reading and astrologer can provide for you. Now, why do this for your kids? I'm sure you're probably wondering that too. It's really easy to understand why we might want to do it as adults and as parents. It gives us direction, us guidance on our own transformation, which is why I'm continuously using my birth chart as part of my life and my evolutionary growth. But for my kids, wow, this has been so insightful about the experiences that we have in our day-to-day lives. If I had had these tools available to me when they were really little, I would have felt so much more secure in the uniqueness of who my kids are. I would have really been able to stand in my power in a way I wasn't initially, because they were so different, because they had their developmental challenges. It felt like it was my intuition, my hope, my trusting of who they are, like, that stuff that as a parent. It was like all those feelings that I had against like all the professional world around me, even friends. And it felt like I was really alone in that. And yet, who my kids are is reflected in their birth chart. And that would have given me so much more understanding how I can support them, how I could be a better guide for them, and really the areas that I needed to work on as a parent to better show up for who they are. So much of this work that I do and that I offer really is about us as parents. It's not about trying to fix our kids. It's really about us transforming so we can better show up for who they are. These little magical world changers and breakers that they are. Like, they're just here for something different than what you and I are here for. Or I should say, they're really here to shake up society. I feel that in my gut. I feel that in my soul. I really believe it. They're just magical, gifted beings who are coming in to say, the status quo isn't working for us, and we're going to change it. And having birth chart readings, birth chart understanding the transits, okay? So you have your snippet in time of when you're born. That's your birth chart. And at the same time keeps on ticking and moving. The planets are moving around your birth chart and activating different areas of your life and your kids' lives. And that's something that I'm going to really start taking you through and just giving you small examples in these upcoming videos, how I can see my life reflected in the experiences that I've had with my children. And also, you know, it's having these moments and these understandings is one thing, but then how do you move through that experience as a parent? How do you shift from the way that you were raised, the way that things were done maybe for you? Maybe you were yelled at a lot. Maybe it was a lot of the children should be seen and not heard mentality. How do you actually shift that? How do you go from those beliefs that are literally inside your body? Your cells are holding these memories, these bits and pieces. How do you shift that paradigm into one where your children have a voice of their own? They are sovereign beings. You're here to help guide them and support them and give them the rules and boundaries of this world that we're in, and yet also honor them. Honor their opinions, honor their feelings. Can you just imagine what your life would have been like if someone really just kind of sat down with you as a child and listened? Maybe you didn't get what you wanted. I mean, that happens to us as adults all the time, right? And yet, to have someone listen to you, their full presence, focused on you, that's a real gift. That can absolutely change so much of our world. If we could just give that to our children. If we could have that reflected back to ourselves as adults.